is Patrick Marks, and for a few minutes here, we're just going to talk about how to build rapport with a student in a secondary education institution. It seems it would be easy to just use a quote to describe all of teaching, to use some inspirational quote to kind of symbolize what as educators we should accomplish in our students. And sometimes those quotes can really inspire us to do those things, but there's another element in education, especially adult education, that if it's missing, it can really impact the success of your ability to instruct, and that's rapport. Now, rapport, you usually hear that word and you think of like team building exercises or icebreakers or something like that, but maybe that'll work in an elementary school setting, but in an adult educating institution, how do you implement rapport, especially when you're working with literally thousands of students? This presents some unique challenges for professors and instructors, and part of the way that we can establish rapport with our students is really through two very important things. The first is the instructor has to have a passion for the subject. It's one thing to just have a job. There's a joke out there, right, that if teachers, you don't become a teacher to make money. You become a teacher because you have a passion to educate the next generation. You have a passion to share knowledge with others, to see them succeed and grow. And so that's part of probably the biggest part of being an educator and building rapport is that your students understand and know that you yourself care about what you're teaching. For me, teaching history, if God allows me to teach history, it can become a dry and boring subject. There's always that small definition of history that it's dead people and dates. And it wasn't until I discovered that history is so much more than that I began to have a passion for it and was able to articulate that in my writing and in my classes themselves. And the second most important part of building rapport with your students is understanding who your students are. It can be difficult when you have, like I said, thousands of students, but if you establish, processes and procedures in your classes, like class introductions, discussion posts, assignments that challenge the student to think introspectively about themselves and about the world around them, and then you have them apply that same assignment into like a group setting to where everybody has a chance to express that. Well, then you have a really good chance of building rapport with your students. With those two things in mind, with understanding that the instructor themselves or need to have a passion for what they're teaching, and they're not just teaching it just to teach, but they have a real understanding and a passion for their subject. And then also that the students know this based on the interaction between the instructor and the student. With those two things, you can really build a solid relationship, a professional teacher-student relationship that has all the elements of success.